Okay. I'm at 9,000 feet.
2 years ago, I took a hike in the San Gorgonio Wilderness here in Southern California. At right about 9,000 feet, I realized I had to stop because the altitude sickness I was experiencing was making walking a very challenging task. At around 8,000 feet, I was lightheaded. At 8,500, I was nauseated. But at every height, I understood that the day would come when I would have to train up in those mountains so I could hike them as well. After my PCT plans fell apart this year, I was considering what other trips I could take and decided that the time had come for a few weeks of hiking up at altitude. I thought I'd take my tripod and phone for that first trip and film a bit while I was there. So, I took the freeway out to the desert and up to the tram. This is the only picture I have of the tram because I didn't realize I was about to be sympathizing with sardines. But the ride is nice, and they deposit you at the top of a long climb down. You start at 8,500 feet and walk down to about 8,300. Long story short, though, I wasn't feeling great.
Okay. So I need you to imagine that this is like an establishing shot. And there's my table, there's my backpack, there's my water, and there's my tripod. And I'll be sitting right there recording this video. So you'll have to imagine that I am pressing the button on the camera that's on the tripod, and this video starts. So the idea was that I would come up here to San Jacinto, and I would do a little hiking, and I would get through my altitude sickness. What I didn't know is that you don't just come up and get over your altitude sickness. So the tram leaves at about 2,500 feet, arrives at about 8,500 feet. I get sick. I get altitude sick around 8,000. So as we were approaching the last stretch, I just felt my stomach just start to drop, and we got into the station, and I was wobbly, still wobbly. So now the plan is to do this little video here, just a little ways from the ranger station, and then take the easy nature trail, which I might film a little of just to give you a taste. Now, those of you who have been down the PCT, hiking up here for a while, you know that that's the bullshit trail that I'm gonna take. So let's not deceive ourselves. But before I go, I wanted to make this a what I've been up to kind of video, just like last year I did in Wrightwood, and I'm surprised it's taken me this long to do another one. So, I take off my hiking hat. My hair is fucked up. It's a little short. Anyway, so you'll have to pardon the weirdness of my hair. That's like a consistent running thing in all of my hiking videos. I just can't hike with good hair. Anyway, so there's gonna be a lot of cuts in this video because I have to keep catching my breath and I keep feeling nauseated. Water helps. For those of you who are trying to beat altitude sickness, water really helps. And I've wanted to come up to altitude, but I hadn't thought about an easy way to do it before. So I've hiked, and basically I hike until I get high enough that I die. And then because I don't go that far and I don't get to my destination, I end up throwing away the video and not posting it because I just think it's shitty that I don't get there. So, this past spring, when I was planning my PCT trip, I thought, I don't want to hike up that climb from the desert floor up to San Jacinto. I don't want to hike that, 7,000, 6,000 feet? I should say climb that 6,000, 7,000 feet. I thought I could just take the tram, make it nice and easy, and then go down from there. The only problem is, the only problem is, that's better, altitude sickness. So, let's see, just to catch you up, didn't do the PCT this year, any of it, because of the bronchitis thing that I and so many other people had. Yeah, I had bronchitis really bad, March, April, May. It was awful. Every time I thought I was getting better, I relapsed and it got worse. Finally, I just had to say, look, you need to lay down for 3-4 weeks, which is what I ended up doing. And it sucked. And I gained a lot of weight, and I'm massively fat. Awesome. So it's June, and in Southern California, the temperatures are going up, up, up. But they had a lot of snow here. And I got to tell you, if you're thinking about coming up to San Jacinto, there's oodles of water. If you could measure water by the oodle, they've got lots of the oodles. They've got all the oodles. So come up here and have some oodles. Anyway, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. And I will be coming back up here. And if I ever get to the point where I can walk more than a few feet without getting dizzy, I will actually film that. But my plan today was actually to go over to the PCT, see how far away it is. I would like to come up here with a backpack and backpack down to Idlewild. I think that'd be a nice short trip. I could do it in 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, just drag it out as long as I want. I think it'd be really nice. You know, once I can get up here and not be sick. So, it's June, and hiking season's almost behind me. In Southern California, July 4th, all the way through past Labor Day, kind of sucks for hiking, unless you're a real masochist. And there's a lot of people who are. Have you watched a PCT video? Those people are crazy, and I love each and every one of them. Actually, I didn't watch a whole lot of PCT videos this year. You know, I heard about Second Chance, and I gotta tell you, when he started out, I thought he was yet another one of those hikers who says, this is my gimmick and this is what I'm filming, right? I mean, I've done that. World's worst backpacker, yes? And there are times when I feel like that title really has stuck. But I'm not referring to myself as that anymore. But Second Chance, I gotta give him props. He's made it really pretty far, and he really has hiked his own hike. You know, last I saw he was at, Agua Dulce or something. And, you know, he's not the fastest guy. He doesn't need to be the fastest guy. And that's the lesson for everybody who hikes and backpacks. You do yours, you do you, and just have fun and enjoy it. And it took me a long time to realize that. And I've come around. So congratulations, Second Chance. Congratulations, all the class of 2019. I wish I'd been able to meet a few of you on the trail. I really wish I'd been able to meet a few of you on the trail instead of being home and being sick. Anyway, but I'm feeling better now. And my work is starting to ramp up again, and I'm really happy about that. I started this year with burnout, and I couldn't write. I couldn't so much as think about writing. So I had to take a couple months and just do very little. It was awful. I know it sounds like a dream, and in any other time of my life, having a couple months off and doing nothing would have been amazing. But I'm doing what I love now, and I hate not doing what I love, strange as that might sound. So, talk a lot, I run out of air, and I get dizzy. There's kids over there jumping on rocks, and pardon me, excuse me, everybody who has kids, but I just want to push them off the rocks. I'm like, you little brats, how dare you breathe? Hi. Anyway, so I had burnout, and I thought, I went through January, I went through February. I thought, you know what, if this keeps up, I'm gonna hike it. I'm gonna hike the PCT. I'm gonna be on the PCT in March. My start date wasn't until the beginning of April. I thought I'll go in March because I'm so sick of not doing anything. And then in March, I got bronchitis. Hooray! It was awful. My wife got it. Other people we know, I should say, got it. My barber, Jessica, had it. Just all kinds of people, hikers. All kinds of people in Southern California. We knew a lot of people down here who got it. And in the middle of that somewhere, I worked my way out of burnout. I had so much time in my head because I was sick for so long that I was able to actually think things through and, figure out what was going on up here. One of the biggest issues I had with my writing and my writing career was that I wasn't too fond of how my audiobooks were turning out. And this is an issue that's gone back, and I have been aware of this for a while, but I haven't been able to really understand what the problem was. And once I started DC Home, I started getting cued into what the problem was. Now, DC Home just finished the first 15 episodes, and every 15 episodes I will release a compilation of each chapter in the DC Home saga, if it is a saga. Did you just hear that kid hawk up a loogie? He didn't, he was pretending. Anyway, so I'm gonna release that, but when I started, and as I still go on, DC Home is an experiment. It's not something that I'm doing with any real assurance, with any real confidence in what I'm doing. I sat down and I said, I want to do something totally different. I want to shake things up. So what I did was I said, no plotting, seat of the pants writing. I want to write about people going through, enduring the Trump presidency, enduring the American political society, enduring the results of this political climate we're in. And I would say out of my mouth, but actually out of my fingers, because I was typing, came Sherry and Sean Finn. Actually, I still haven't established what Sean's last name was, but Sherry Finn at the very least. And man, gotta remember to breathe. It's important. So out of some mysterious corner of my mind, DC Home emerged, and it taught me a lesson. And I know using phrases like "it taught me a lesson" might sound strange, but as a writer, you got to learn to just leave things out there. You just got to put things out there, and you can't judge them before they're out. Because once they're out there, then you know if they're any good. There's some things you just can't figure out until other people see it. And this happened with DC Home. I wasn't entirely sure. And then it started to pick up an audience. And as a writer, here's one of the things you do as a writer. You sit down, you think, how am I gonna get people's attention? How am I going to let people know that I'm out there writing? Because the writing business right now is so disintegrated, it's so flayed that it's nuts. Well, in my case, one of the ways I try to promote my work is to get as many reviews as I can. But also, man, it's starting to get chilly here. One of the things up here is I've gone from being cold to hot to cold, and it really depends on how much shade you're under. So, excuse me. Putting the puffy back on. I forgot my thermometer, my thermometer, so I don't know what the temperature is up here. But it's in the 60s, maybe? Possibly? Depending on how much shade you're in. Anyway, so I've been trying to get a lot of reviews, and every so often I will try and think of some new thing that will attract readers, listeners, viewers, etc. And viewers on this channel might remember the movie videos I was doing. I tried that, didn't really catch on, so I stopped. I had a ton of movies, and I love movies, and I love talking about movies, but I don't think that that is what people are interested in seeing from me. Clearly, hiking videos is something people are interested in, and I'm sorry this isn't one of them, and I'm really sorry because I'm always feeling like I'm going to throw up. So DC Home will return, episode 16, probably somewhere around October. The DC Home Volume 1 collection will be coming out probably sometime early next month, early July 2019. And then I'll be starting a new series of podcast episodes. Since DC Home is the fictional series, a series of fiction stories, man, I can't think. I'm going to also be starting a series of nonfiction podcast episodes, which will go under the title of Talking Shit. Talking Shit's going to be a series of me talking to you about shit. Shit you own, shit you hate, shit you hear, all kinds of shit. We're surrounded by shit, and I'm going to talk about shit. So that'll be Talking Shit. It'll be just like DC Home. And yeah, it'll be up on this YouTube channel. And that gives me, that provides me with a segue to something else I wanted to talk about, which is that this YouTube channel holds a lot of podcasts and not as much video as it used to. And I understand that. And I want you to know that there will be more video coming to this channel soon. I'm going to get a little more hiking in before it's too late, so there will be some more hiking videos. I don't know if I should cut out every section between every breath, or just leave it in so you can see how bad I am at breathing up here. 8,300 feet is where I'm at, by the way. Okay, so there will be more videos, some of them hiking, but some of them not. And I want to let you know that some series will be returning. I'll be bringing back another Ken Answers All the Most Important Questions, or whatever that is. I'll be bringing back Culturally Irrelevant, or Cultural Irrelevancy, or whatever that was. I did one video for each last year at about this time, and my schedule just gets away from me. It just gets away from me, and I want to do this work, or I want to do that work, and there's just times when I've got to say, got to put it off. It's gotta wait. So that ant is on the table. Okay. Anyway, hi. So that'll be coming back. I'm planning on starting a new series called Commercial Bias, which you'll see more of later. I don't want to spoil it, but there will be a new video series probably sometime in August, maybe. Fuck. Man, I can't talk much longer. I'm running out of water, although I have 2 bottles over there. I don't want to sit and talk through 2 more bottles of water. I don't think you want me to either. So, that's a lot of YouTube channel business. That's a lot of what's going on in this YouTube channel. Now, let's talk a little bit about books, because I wanted to get with you and tell you about some things happening with books, because at my core, at my heart of hearts, I'm a novelist. I'm an author. So let's talk about that. As I mentioned, DC Home, the first collection. Do we have a cover maybe to put up now? I haven't done a cover yet. I don't know if Ken in the editing booth has put together a cover, but the idea is on a hillside, you've got the Washington Monument and a house, and it's the DC Home, and there's your logo. We'll see. But that's coming out next month. And then later on this year, I'll be releasing the 3rd book in the Heaven series. Of course, the first one was Heaven Enough, a book about someone, I thought I heard something, a book about Matt Murphy finding and losing love on the Pacific Crest Trail. And it really is, the whole series is my my analysis, my inspection of what we go through for love and what we do for love. And that was very much about that. And then recently, late last year, I think, Heaven Denied was released to fantastic reviews, which, I don't know, I'm going to put some of the quotes over here. Fantastic reviews for Heaven Denied. I got to tell you, I was not expecting it. I wrote Heaven Denied as kind of an absurd bromance to kind of come off of all the really heavy stuff in Heaven Enough, and it turns out that there was just as much heavy stuff in Heaven Denied that I was unaware of, because, like I said, some of these things, they just, you know, I'm like the conduit, I'm the channel, and that's, it happens whether I'm thinking about it or not. So where I thought Heaven Denied would not be that accepted because it was like an absurdist kind of bromance, it turned out a lot of people found it to be worthwhile and to have a lot of depth, and I am humbled by that experience, believe me. And so anyway, those are all the quotes for Heaven Denied, and Heaven for Now will be coming out later this year. Heaven for Now is the third book in the series, and it follows the story of Matt Murphy and his travails in the arena of love. And if you like your romance with a little touch of goofiness, actually, you can put that for pretty much any of my books. If you like blank with a little touch of goofiness, I'm your man. So Heaven for Now, the third book, will be coming out later this year, and I hope you enjoy it. I had a blast writing it. The third book really reinfuses the kind of energy that you want after Matt Murphy went through so much in the first book, and that's all I'm going to tell you. I don't want to spoil it for you. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think. So, Heaven for Now, later in 2019. Wow, I gotta tell you, it's 8,500 feet at the tram station, 8,300 feet at the base of the winding concrete path to the hiking trails. And those 200 feet, that's a climb. And I can barely even breathe sitting. So I'm really looking forward to going back and taking the tram down. Either that or I'll just roll downhill from here. But in addition to that, something else is coming up I'm really excited about is once I get Heaven for Now out and all of my housekeeping is done, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write 2 books. I'm just going to sit down and write 2 books back to back. And I'm really excited about that because when I wrote Heaven Denied and Heaven for Now, I wrote them both back to back. I sat down and I wrote 2 whole books. And I think that it really made the 2 stronger because I didn't have to sit down and reintroduce myself to the universe and all that. So when it comes to series like Work of Art or The Breakthrough, I've decided that when I write new books for those, I will write more than 1 book at a time. Right now, I'm thinking about 2. And at the beginning of next year, or shortly after the beginning of next year, breath. I'll start work on the next 2 books in the Work of Art series. Now, I got to tell you, I will be honest, the Work of Art series hasn't performed as well as I would have hoped. And I'm kind of okay with that because I have a feeling that once book 2, 3, 4, 5 come out and more readers get a chance to get introduced to the world of work of art, to the world of the art department in Santa Ana High School, in this world that I've created, I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it just as much as I'm enjoying writing it. It's a whole lot of fun. And I really enjoy that series and, of course, Breakthrough. But Breakthrough is going to have to wait. But not too much longer, because I love Max Dedge. And I can't wait to get back and write another book with him in it. So, that's what's going on with me right now. Until I'm back up here another time, I hope you have fun yourself. Go out and do some hiking. Get up in the mountains. Get to altitude. Bring lots of water. Bring something to make you a little warm. Bring a snack. Bring some goodies. Make yourself comfortable. Make yourself happy. Just have a great time. You don't have to be out pushing tons of miles to enjoy it out here. You know, if you think, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do the other, just know that you don't have to do that much. They got a restaurant up there at the top of the tram. You can take the tram and have a bite to eat, just to get acclimated, just to see it, just to enjoy it, or wherever you are. Don't let not knowing how well you'll do stop you from doing what you want to do. And I guess that's my advice to you on this afternoon when I can hardly breathe and I feel like I'm going to throw up, so I better have more water. And now I've come to a point where in order to get to the viewpoints, the desert viewpoints, I need to do a little climbing. So I'm taking this very slow, and that would be my advice to anyone who isn't quite used to hiking at altitude. But I'm gonna go up to the viewpoints because I would hate to disappoint. Okay, so I've made it to what is called Notch 1, which I don't know if this is gonna work that well because it's so bright out there, but from here I'm looking down on the desert floor and all the heat. It's like 100 degrees down there. Up here it's close to 70. So I think I'm gonna end this video at this point. Hang out here, get a little used to the altitude, a little more used to the altitude. I don't feel so much like I'm passing out now, which is nice. But I'm going to have to come up here again at least to do some more day hiking and get used to this altitude. It's beautiful. It's just fantastic. You got to come up San Jacinto, take the tram, take a drive, head on down to the desert, whatever. It's been a beautiful day. Thank you for sharing some of it with me, and I'll see you soon.
And there you have it. You've just survived another Ken LaSalle video. For more information about new releases, projects in the works, or even stuff from the archives, head on down to kenlasalle.com. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and all around social media, just as long as it's called Facebook or Twitter. Thanks for your support, as always. Be sure to subscribe to this channel, and I'll be back soon with more nonsense.
One more thing. I'm walking through these lovely, lovely woods. I mean, they're really very pleasant. You should come on up. I think I've said that a dozen times already. But it occurred to me as I was coming down off that notch and walking back down this very short trail, just how slowly I'm walking. And, you know, that's okay. You know, I'm getting used to breathing, and I don't feel like throwing up, so this ain't so bad. But it is something that you kind of have to accept. And if you're hard on yourself, like I am hard on myself, like a few years ago, I would have been pushing myself saying, how come you can't go faster? Without having any sympathy for my lungs, for instance, and my brain, which is losing oxygen. I just looking over here at all this material. Anyway, so if you got to train yourself to walk, to hike at altitude, and you don't think you can go very fast, then don't go very fast. Go slow. And you know, you won't miss out on anything. In fact, you'll get a little more out of it because you're going slow. Because you get to spend time with these beautiful trees, and you get to spend time out here listening to the wind and the birds, maybe some other people, but nothing else. No traffic noise, no city noise. I mean, it's amazing how quick, how fast I got here, considering I don't live anywhere near here. But to have gotten here any other way, to drive up to the mountains and hike up to altitude, I would never have been able to do it because, well, as you can see, I would never have been able to hike up to altitude. Anyway, so I wanted you to see me going super slow so that when you come up here, if you have any problems or any issues with altitude sickness, you'd understand that that's okay. Go as slow as you want. Go at a crawl if you want, because it's worth it up here to see everything at a crawl. I had to get under some shade. It's really bright. So that's it. Last thing from me. No more filming for me today. I'm gonna take it easy, have a snack, breathe some more, and start working on some more videos to go up on this channel. See ya.